What up YouTube, Topaz Yates back for another review, and this one's to that Logic, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. And I'ma give this one the red light, man. And it's not completely garbage of a project, but this is by far maybe the worst project that he's delivered throughout his career. And even though he has the core fundamentals down and he's able to create quality music, you still gotta hold individuals accountable for the past works and stuff as well. You feel me? Like the level increases for each individual. Just because you can find worse music from individuals like, say, Lil Uzi Vert or somebody like that, man, doesn't mean that everything Logic's going to do is hot. Because he has the core fundamentals down, that he'll never stoop down to those levels. But still, you compare to what he's done before in the past, and this is easily some of his worst stuff. As this review, I'm not going to get too deeply into his lyricism, quote unquote, or lack thereof, because I have pretty much been talking about it for all the reviews that I did leading up to this project. If you want to gather a better understanding of how I feel about this project as a whole, I already reviewed the title song Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, Homicide, and Keanu Reeves, and specifically pointed out why he is not that good lyrically. But the concept of it was where the basic concept of this is, as the title suggests, the Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, as he is the dangerous mind, where he's giving us thoughts that he's having that are quote unquote controversial, because it's not what we're somewhat used to where the music industry is at now. But ultimately it's nothing new, because some of these songs that he's overtly just throwing shots at new generation, it's the same thing a lot of these other rappers have been doing, this quote-unquote real hip-hop, which is all but what he's doing off that Homicide song that got Eminem on there and such, dude. But the things that really interest me would really be the concepts of these individual songs, man, the messages that's behind them. Like, take the song Wannabe, where on this song he's breaking down the mentality of individuals who want to be successful so bad that they will do anything to do it. They'll betray themselves, they'll betray anybody close to them, they'll do everything possible, like a desperate mind. And this is something that I've learned from years of dealing with people. Anybody who's so desperate to do something like that, you never trust them. Simply put, they'll do anything, they'll betray anybody, they're not worthwhile, they don't stand for anything as long as they can push forward and become something. And this is how the music industry takes full advantage of individuals, because so many people are so desperate to become something in the music industry, to have their songs on the radio, to look like they're worth $1 million and all that stuff, that they'll sign 360 deals, sign away all the rights to their music, end up being broke in the next 10 years. Now the song Clickbait was rather interesting as well, man, because what he's doing is making a whole song based around every area of clickbait. Like, he's even clickbaiting himself as far as the things that he's saying. Like when he's saying that he'll suck somebody off to prove that he's not homophobic and all of that stuff. This is him giving you clickbaits while he's saying in the song, like, nobody listens to what I'm saying. You're going to really focus in on that, but not the positivity that he's doing. He gives you clickbait on the track. And you know, interesting concept, but that's not something you should ever say in hip-hop, because that will forever be used against you. But this clickbait also goes into the media, where they'll take certain words and stuff and try to make articles about it. This is why he will not go on the Breakfast Club, because of Charlemagne the God and all of that stuff. And then the same clickbait goes for these Instagram models who will post up almost nude, if not completely nude, in a seductive pose and all of that stuff, in order for you to click on this stuff so that they can get paid. It's a interesting thought, but yet it's not carried out to the highest level, nor was it like very lyrical either. Then you got a song like Cocaine, where this was simplistic. He's all but saying, if I were to rap more about cocaine, if I were to more rap about the street life like you see in the commercial industry, then he would be more accepted by the masses. Which is completely untrue, because, I mean, look at his sales, look at his notoriety on where he's at right now. It's not like he's lacking, and there's plenty other MCs and stuff out there who's doing the drug terminology and doing all of that, that is nowhere near as accepted as Logic is. But ultimately you can tell that is where the commercial industry is for the most part. Another concept that I rather enjoyed was that Don't Be Afraid to Be Different that had Will Smith on it, that got that old school feel to the production and all that, man. Will Smith starts it off with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air anthem, but then cuts it off and goes in as what they're ultimately rapping about is how they came into the game being different, unique to themselves in order to find their own success, and they're trying to use this to show everybody that you can be yourself. You don't have to play the part that everybody else wants you to be in order for you to be out here and getting it, which is absolutely true. Like, to be real, all of these corporations and all this that's trying to fit the same mold and put out the same kinds of music, they tend to go out of business because they're not being revolutionary. They're really just trying to capitalize off of what's popular right now, and that's not the way that this game works. I mean, sure, you'll be able to pick up some change as you go, but really the people who reinvent the game, who come in the game different, who have their own fan bases and stuff, these are the people that make drastic shifts in the game. That's how these rap bloodlines actually happen. There's always an individual artist that changes up everything on how people rhyme, on the concepts that people do, on the overall quality, on the types of production that people do, and then from there, the game splinters, and then you see all of the other rappers that are influenced by that, but they take it and they flip it as the game continues to change as it goes. And that's how you can tell where the bloodlines of each individual MC. I love this concept. I like how the production is like a spin on some old school hip hop, but it's still updated with the times, but yet it's not phenomenal though. Like, everything was cool, but it wasn't great. Now, the only song off of this that I actually enjoyed was that Lost in Transition, but only in moments, you feel me? Because the concept, if you want to call it that, is that it's a song that's going to continue to transition. He's not doing much lyrically, he's just trying to do punchlines and all of that. Well, he does have his moments, but really the key of it is how the production shifts from the beginning, middle, and end. And to be real, that middle was fire. Like, I wish that was the full song, just the middle, while the beginning was and the end really took a nosedive, and that's my issue. Like, I've been telling people for years, if you're going to do a song with transitions in it, then each individual transition has to be as good as another, or else it won't be worthwhile of a full listen. Like, I can completely understand if somebody takes some editing programs and just cut off that very last transition and just rock with what's left from there, you feel me? Like, it's really not worthwhile because that production just falls off. And lyrically, he's saying a few things of interest, like, I'm Bruce Wayne terrorizing Gotham, I'm going bat-ish. Like, that was or how he's a original screenplay in a world filled of remakes and stuff. And which that was pretty cool, because when you look at the movies right now, like, you're seeing nothing but remakes and a lot of video game movies. Like, did you see the Sonic movie that's about to come out? Where that looks completely trash. But yet, that's where the movies are at, and that's somewhat where the music industry is at too. Like, everybody is trying to be what everybody else have done before in the past instead of bringing out something new and different. But I'm not going to say that Logic is new and different though. Overall, like I said in the beginning, this isn't a super garbage project because Logic just has some core fundamentals that he'll never create something that bad. But yet, in the grand scheme of all of the music that he's put out to this point, for me to only have one song on this that I would consider keeping, but yet I don't even like that full song, and then lyrically he's still exposing himself for not being very good and still doing the biracial raps and all of that stuff, dude. It's just not very impressive. I'm gonna give this joint a 4 out of 10, worth a listen, but very disappointing. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpaz.com, that's down there, to read today's article.